Hi there, so today we are going to discuss one of the most important thing you need to know whether you are a freelancer or a design studio owner, which is to execute a project from start to end, from writing a contract to handing off and complete invoice. So in this particular video, we are going to have a look at each and every step in detail which you will take or you have been taking or you should take in terms of completing any project from start to end. So let's get into this video without wasting any kind of your time. So let's start from the beginning, like the contract. Once you have secured your new project with your new client or an existing client, the first thing which you need to do is write a detailed contract in which you should include all of the things like deliverables of that, as well as starting and ending date of that, the budget thing, scope of work, scope of revision, each and everything which you should be doing, knowing, or want to clarify, that each and every small detail should be written in that contract to avoid any kind of further confusion and make sure that you and your client are on the same page. So make sure to send a well detailed contract to your client before doing any kind of professional work. So the next step which you should be taking after sending a contract, you should be having a nice call with your client in terms of understanding about their problem, like what kind of problem they are trying to solve and kind of things. So if we take example of any e-commerce site, for example, you have got a new project related to e-commerce redesigning and the goal of your client is to like improve the sales of that, improve the conversion rate of that, and getting more attention of potential users. So if you are having that kind of requirement, then what should you do is after sending one decent contract, you should having one meeting with your client, and in that you both should be discussing about how you wanted to solve this particular problem, who are their target audience, who are their competitors, as well as a lot thing about their business and a lot about where they wanted to be. So we can call this as a preliminary call in which we discuss all like problem and detail which they wanted to provide for this project. So after having that kind of call, what you should be doing is you should be conducting a nice user study or nice research in which you also research a lot about their business, their competitors, how others are doing similar niche with your client, as well as who are their target audience, what are their behaviors, how do they behave, where they do hang out, as well as a lot of UX related stuff which you need to research before starting any kind of design. So our next stage would be wireframing or implementation of that research. So once you have gathered all the data from the users or from the internet, after that you need to convey that research into one concrete design, like which you can show to your client to express your idea and thought process behind that. So for example, if you consider to make one wireframe, then what should be doing is like create one entire full-fledged wireframe of your application or website, which would be not having any kind of colors, any kind of illustrations, any kind of fancy elements and kind of thing, just a wireframe with black and white layout. So once you have prepared that, what you should do is you should take up one call with your client or a video call, or if you are working with them physically, then go to the physical thing and meet them and just explain each and everything which you have thought behind that wireframe and get their reviews, because once you have applied the prototyping and the high fidelity design, then it would be hard to implement all the changes. So first, once you have cleared your wireframe done, and after that what you should be doing is convert that entire wireframe into full-fledged design, and I guarantee you whatever you have made in the wireframe would not be the same in the UI, because I have felt that personally a lot. Whenever I create one wireframe and whenever I jump into the actual UI part, there are a lot of tweaks which I do in between. So once you have also prepared your user interface, then what you should be doing is prepare one nice prototype of that, so your actual client can have idea like how their design would be presented in this real world. So create a full-fledged prototype so they can have clear understanding of how you are thinking and what kind of interaction you would be having, as well as how it will feel in real world. So after once you did that, again go to your client, and now this time, if possible, go with each and every explanation which you need to give towards your design, and explain each and every design thought behind your each and every element or design, which will, to be honest, help you a lot to build your personal brand in front of client, as well as it's really good to explain each and everything why you have done a particular thing to your client. So after preparing your prototype, give it to your client and wait for the response, and if they approve your prototype at the first glance, then it's great, or otherwise if they are having any kind of revisions, then properly do it, and after that resubmit it again. And after that, once the design is finalized, then what you should be doing is you should be writing a doc Yes, a documentation, like in that you will explain each and everything about your element, like how your element should be used, and if any special tips are there for particular animation or interaction which you have designed, so please include that in a doc so each and every developer can have idea about that. So after writing this doc, hand off your entire design, like hand off each and everything, like each and every element and your design with help of Zepline or any tools, or you can directly provide them the access of Figma file in which you can also attach the document and all the things. It is also a way to do. And after you have hand off your design to the developer, have one meeting with them and explain them each and everything about your design. I'm not saying about the reasoning and all that. If you wanted to, then you can do, but if you don't want it, then it's not necessary to explain developers what was your thought behind that. But what you should do is explain them each and every interaction which might be special for them, which might be new for them, so you can avoid any kind of confusion in future. So after that, once you hand off your design, now it's time to send your invoice to your client. Yes, you should invoice to your client what are the amount you are charging for that. You should be sending one invoice for that so your client can timely pay that. And make sure to add each and every terms which both have agreed on in the invoice and payment detail as well. And there you have it, the complete process of completing any kind of project from start to the end. So I hope this video have added some kind of value into your life, and if yes, then please consider to like this video and subscribe to our channel would be great. So that's all for today guys, see you in the next one.